So, I'm back home and I'm busy as hell, basically pursuing life in 3 different directions. I'm doing something about my Dodge Ram truck, I gotta do something about my international truck, and my new lowboy trailer. And this truck, you know, because of the Dodge Ram, that's where I'm now, I want to be able to carry something in the bed. So even though I thought I was done with modifications, 2 more are coming, and actually I removed the last one I did, the last mod, the Hypertech, because the truck started uncontrolled acceleration by itself. There was something wrong with the accelerator pedal sensor, and I decided not to take any chances, and I removed everything, both the harness at the gas pedal and the one under the engine, and it took like 10 minutes to remove, but if you remember, it took me probably like close to 3 hours to install because it was so awkward. And I sent everything for a refund. I don't like that. You know, before it was okay. Before, when I used it on my Ford F-150, it was a tuner, like a kind of like a smartphone thing, right? You just connect it to your computer, to your port, ECM, PCU, whatever, and you upload the tune, right? That makes sense, and then you disconnect and you drive, and you can modify the tune if you buy a custom tuner. But this thing, it's more like a power harness. It's like cheating. It makes the computer think that the conditions are different from what they really are, you know. It's kind of like what I use on my international truck, but at least there it's just it was much easier to install than this one. There's so many wires. I don't know. I'd rather I don't know why they disconnected the actual tuner thing, you know, where you just upload the tune. That made more sense to me. Like this constantly sitting there harness, I don't know. Anyway, so now Monday, today's Friday, now Monday I'm going to the local Chrysler dealer, and they're gonna spread the bed liner, like that spray-on bed liner, on the bed and on the sides of the bed, and they're gonna install that cool 22nd century space age looking aluminum cover on top of the bed. You know, it's gonna be flat black aluminum, very light, and it'll have like 2 or 3 parts, so you can open the rear. It's gonna be like a lid, a lockable lid with a lock, of course, because it's lockable, and then the front part also. But I mean, you cannot carry tall pieces in there, but I'm not moving lumber with this truck, right? I just want to be able to have something where I can lock, let's say my bike, can throw in and lock so that no one steals it. Because yeah, right now the bed is open, it's kind of useless, you know. I remember even on my Ford F-150 I bought tires somewhere, and I was just carrying, oh yeah, I bought them in Ohio and brought them down in my transport truck, and then I put them in the bed of the F-150 truck, you know, and they're sitting there, expensive tires, and basically everybody can grab them, you know. It's not good. Plus, of course, in bad weather, it's always good to, you know, to protect the bed from the elements. So that's one thing I'm doing. Now about the truck, on the trip back, for some reason my right headlight died on the international. When I drove all night to get back to Canada, everything was by the book, legal, you know. I did 10 hours during the day, sleeper time, and then I drove all night because it was much cooler. And I probably hit one of those huge mosquitoes with the right headlight, because there's you can see a couple of traces, like a wave of, shows that the glass is broken inside, you know. And I look closely at the bulb in there, and it doesn't have that black tip on it when it's new, so I think it's like exploded on impact with that big mosquito. Or maybe it was a flying snake. I'm not sure, but one or the other. So I gotta replace that. And then for some reason my truck, when accelerating, when I'm picking up speed at about 80 kilometers an hour or 50 miles per hour, the steering wheel starts shaking. And that happened before, but usually it's caused by irregular wear on your tires. right? But now I just got these tires one in May on the front. They're brand new, so I think, I don't know, it's can be the steering, can be just the front end, some kind of you know, those things over there next to the wheels. So I gotta check that, because you know I'm selling the truck, and that's one big thing with the international truck I'm doing. I put an ad online to try to find some cheap labor, some, you know, some handyman to polish the wheels, tanks, and clean up the rust. And I got one guy call me, and he wanted no, first I found a company, like a big company, and they wanted $50 a wheel, and I think $150 a tank, and they wouldn't even they didn't give me a quote for the rust, probably, so it was expensive. Then I found another guy called me. See these online ads, they're great. I use Kijiji here in Canada, and I put them in automotive services, and I you know, you can offer something, or you're looking for something. So I said I'm looking for, and then in the subject line it says wanted, and that's what I called it, wanted a handyman, you know, to polish wheels and tanks. And then another one, wanted a handyman to clean up rust on the truck's frame. And so this one guy, then the other guy calls me, he says he'll do the wheels for $30 a wheel, and then the tanks, basically just a little bit cheaper than this big company. But then another guy calls me. So while I'm talking to this guy, trying to negotiate a price, another guy calls me, he says, oh, I worked on, you know, my neighbor has a Mack truck, and I did lots of polishing and cleaning, and I can do the rust. One guy can do everything. And I said, what do you figure if I pay you $30 an hour? Like I said in the ad, I said I'll pay $30 an hour for a good job. You know, that, I think if you're like a kid or something, a student, right, I don't care. If you're a girl, just want to buy some new shoes, you know, sex, experience, doesn't matter. I was just looking for some cheap labor, someone who can do a good job, so I think $30 is reasonable. If you don't have any overhead, you're not a big company. And I said, I provide the supplies, you just tell me what you need. So this guy says, I asked him how much he'll want, and he says, it'll probably take me, you know, almost a whole day, so I probably can do it for $200. I said, so $200 for wheels, the tanks, and the rust. And you know, I don't understand cheap people, you know. Like, here's a guy wants to spend whole Saturday, because I'm meeting him tomorrow on Saturday, and he wanna clean up all this shit that accumulated on the wheels and tanks and the rust on the frame for $200. So, you know, I'm kind of a weird negotiator, so I said, how about I'll give you $300 if you do a good job? And the guy says, oh, that would be great. He says, for $300 I'll be working real hard. So okay. And I explained to him that I just basically doing this to, I need to take nice pictures and put it online for sale. And so I'm meeting him tomorrow. We agreed on the price, right? So $300, and he gonna supply his own tools, but I'll buy paint and, you know, any polishing thing you need. Or I said, I don't know which kind to buy, so if you buy, I'll reimburse you. So I see, it's like amazing sometimes what deals you can find when you're not looking through ads of people offering services. But I notice it many times that you get a much better deal when you want people to call you, you know. It's kind of like with trucking, you know. If you call brokers for freight, they're not gonna give you, you know, much respect. But if you put your truck, at least that's what someone told me, if you list your truck as looking for freight and wait for people to call you, you know, then you're in charge and you can ask them all kinds of money, right? So the same thing here. I'm in control, I'm asking for services, and I said, you know, this is how much I can pay, right? I wrote right in the ad, for a good job, I said, if you do a good work, I'll pay $30 an hour for a good work. And this guy calls back and he's okay with this kind of money. So, you know, it's not bad income just to make on a weekend if you like doing this kind of thing and you have some spare time. So I recommend this approach to everybody who wants to you know, do something for cheap. Just use wanted ads, you know, in your local online classifieds. So it's Kijiji in Canada, because we don't have Craigslist. No, I think there is Craigslist here, but I don't think Canadians use it, you know. But in the States, yeah, it's Craigslist and then a whole bunch of local classifieds, whatever works. And oh, and then Tuesday I found so Saturday I'm doing this, so the truck will look nice, wheels, tanks, no rust on the back, well, at least no visible rust. And then I still need to do the interior detailing. And a while back I talked to a car rental place. There's a car rental company here in Cambridge, and they have like a big shop, you know, like big overhead door, you can put a big transport truck in there. And they had actually advertised detailing, buses, RVs, trucks. And I went in there, I said, what kind of trucks? Can you detail a transport truck with a sleeper, like, you know, lots of room inside? And the guy said, yeah, sure. Just give us some, you know, heads up, like advance notice. And so I stopped by this time. And I said, when can I come with the truck, like next week? And so you guys can do detailing. I said, I'll remove all my personal things out of it to make it easier for you to work on. And that's another thing why I need the cover on this pickup truck, on the bed, right? So they're gonna do this Monday. The bed will have a cover, and then Monday I'll remove all this stuff from my international truck, and Tuesday they're doing the detailing, and then I'll take lots of pictures, you know, wheels. Oh, and probably they have their own wash, so I'll ask them to wash the truck as well. I hope that's not gonna spoil the polishing job, you know. But I'll take pictures of wheels and tanks before, because right now the truck is not exactly, well, it's not too dirty, but it's not, you know, too clean, and I don't know where to take it here for wash. And I don't want to bother myself. Like, there's a coin-operated car wash I can take it to, but it doesn't work. I tried it. It's like the truck looks clean when it's still wet. Then like 15 minutes later, when everything dries up, it looks the same dirty previous self. You need a professional, you know, cleaning service. So I'd rather these guys do it at the car rental place. Okay, if you guys are not falling asleep yet, so what else I'm doing? Oh, the trailer. That's the number 3 venue. So pickup truck, international truck. Yeah, and once the international truck is all cleaned up, yeah, one last thing I need to do is I need to take it to a shop, and I'll buy a basic seat. What I had in that truck was a basic non-suspension seat, which was driving me nuts because it was vibrating and you know. I had a toothache and headache because of that. That's why one of the reasons I removed it, and then I discovered that, hey, now I have lots of space, and the truck became lighter by probably 200 pounds, you know. So speed went up, fuel mileage went up. It was a win-win. But now this guy in Washington says, you know, if you want to sell your truck for good money, make sure you have a seat in there and it's all clean inside. So I'll go to the shop, they'll install the seat, they'll fix that mosquito-bitten headlight, check the front end, and I noticed one of the clearance lights on the roof is blinking, which is, you can get a ticket for it, right? And then the trailer. So yesterday I started sending them paperwork, and then each time I check, it's all online basically, full automatic. You just put in your case number and the last 6 digits of the VIN number, and you click, you know, track, and the computer tells you the status of your order, so to say, like, or where you are with this trailer. And each time I was doing that, it says need proof of import. So and the system refreshes only once. Like, sometimes you have to wait 24 hours to see the result, you know. So I send all the documents once, scan them, high resolution scan, you know, email it to them, they provide an email address. Waited like 4 or 5 hours, the same message, proof of import is required. So I scan them again, send them again. No, I mean resend the same thing, and then I paid the fee, $200, And then finally this morning, on the next day, today, Friday, I checked the status, and now close to the noon, which is close to 24 hours since I sent the first documents, it says now the form number 2 inspection form is being generated. Please allow 1 full business day for that form to be generated. And that's the form I need to go to the inspection place and do the inspection, and it's no charge. It's already included in this $200. So that's what I'm waiting for. And then as soon as that is done, I'm gonna go to the office of the leasing company that gave me the money for this, give them all the paperwork, and after that I guess I'll be able to go to the MTO, like DOT in Canada, and get the license plate for the trailer, or transfer my existing step deck license plate, which I kept. So, and then once that is done, I'm gonna call Lansta and continue where we left off a week ago, because now I can finish registering the trailer with the Lansta fleet, right? Because I cannot just pull it by myself since I don't have my own authority. So Lansta will need, that's why we stopped. I sent them everything they asked me to fill out. But the last thing they wanted was a registration. And of course I did not have a registration, so now I'm gonna get that, send it to them. They will assign me the unit number, like the 6-digit number, trailer number, and I'll go to a sign shop and get them to put a nice, you know, kind of stickers on both sides, and maybe add my name on the sides as well. I don't know, maybe put like my full name, Sergei DRATCHEV, you know, Sergei DRATCHEV, heavy haul. Maybe put my phone number too, you know, because people will see me and they will call me, because number of these trailers is limited. So that's what's going on with that. Now the manual, I wanted to make a comment. Oh, by the way, here's one tip about headlights for a truck. Because you know, when something goes wrong with your headlights, you start wondering, okay, what kind of headlight I need. So you go to let's say auto parts store, and they have like 500 different types of headlights, right? So what I do, one trick I learned is that you keep the box from your last headlight. You flatten it like this, because then it doesn't take much space, right? Hello, oh. And this is the one I use. This is like a high output, very strong headlight. So I want to get the same one, and it has the part number. That's what the most important thing, right? Part number. And if they don't have this one in stock, you can use this part number for cross-reference, right? So you don't have to remember because you know, who can remember this? If last time I replaced the headlight, I think it was like 2 years ago, you know, but I still kept the box. So now I'm gonna go to Canadian Tire, that's our big auto parts store here in Canada, and buy me one of these and install it. Just a quick tip. Now about the manuals, you know how in computer world they say RTFM, read the splash manual. So you gotta read the manual before operating an expensive and complicated piece of machinery like the hydraulic detachable lowboy trailer. It's not like a regular trailer, right? It's a whole bunch of things you need to know. Now, I'm sitting inside my Dodge Ram truck, right, which as you know was going for about what, 21,000 Canadian. It's a high quality truck, don't get me wrong, but it's a cheap truck. Because it's a standard cab, you know, no leather, just vinyl seats. I love it, but it's a cheap truck. It's not a 4-door truck. You see like that one over there? That's pretty much the same truck. Only I bet that one costs at least 2 times what mine costs. The same bed. Oh, by the way, the guy has a bed cover. But his wheels are tiny. Check that out. That's 17-inch. His gas tank lid is like so 19th century, you know. Mine is all aluminum, shiny or chrome, whatever. But anyway, what I'm getting at is that this is a cheap truck, right? relatively. Now look at the case you get for the manual. It's real leather, because I can feel it. Whole kinds of goodies inside. There's you can use it to put some business cards in here. The manual is full color, very glossy, expensive paper, you know. Lots of pictures, you know, lots of illustrations. And it's about, I don't know, 250 pages, you know. This is all came with a $21,000 trailer. Now the trailer, to put things into perspective, what I'm trying to tell you guys. The trailer, the same kind of trailer that I got in the States for a reduced sale amount, here would go for probably $75,000. So this is the manual you get. Well, there was a case, but it was vinyl, like a tiny little thing where this was in. So this so-called manual is done on a very cheap regular paper, like a letter paper, you know, a regular office paper. Has a tiny typeface, you know, and I don't wear glasses, but I cannot read this. And it's all just stapled, basically a homemade manual, you know. And I want to read it, but I cannot read it unless I use some telescope or something, you know. So I went to Staples, Business Depot, and I said, can you just enlarge it, make it like a big booklet? And she said, okay, let me see what I can do. So she made a copy of one page, she enlarged it, and she showed it to me, and it was still small, you know. Because there's, I don't know, there was lots of, see, there's not that much text, but the margins are big, and even when they increase it to make it like a letter size, the text is still small because there's so much empty space on it. And then I had this idea. I said, how about you scan it, like give me like a professional high-resolution scan, make it into a PDF file so I can, you know, on the computer I can increase it, you know, plus minus, get the size as big as I want, and I can just read it on the computer. Now they did that, charged me $5. I picked it up this morning, and I put the CD in my computer. I save it as a PDF file, manual, and I open it, and of course these lazy guys or girls, instead of scanning each page separately, you know, so that I can really increase it, they scan it like this. So this was first page, then she did this, so all horizontal. Now how do you read this? You know, like on the computer you have to go, you have to move that scrolling thing, the bar at the bottom, to go from this page to this if you want to increase it. So what did I pay those $5 for, you know? Because I have a scanner. I could have done that myself, and actually that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just scan it like this, you know, scan each page separately, and then high resolution scan like 600 dpi. I can do that. I can do color scan, you know, scan each page and then save it as one big file, and then I can scroll through and increase the size, you know. But it's kind of funny. So $21,000 truck, you get a leather case and a full color glossy paper manual, and a $70,000 trailer, you get a homemade 20-page manual. Well, that's just my rant for the day, but that's what I'm doing. So weekend truck, trailer, pickup truck, lots of things to do. I hope you guys enjoying the good weather while it lasts, because the winter is coming sometime. So thanks for watching, be safe, and have a good weekend.